If you're interested in things more fucked up than Demi Lovato's haircut, then go to www.NTTFGPOD.com and subscribe. I'm Rock.
And I'm Archie.
Well, our opinions, they might not matter to some, but...
What are you doing in there?
It's a podcast.
Immature, crass, trashy. And those are their good qualities. These poor schmucks are a couple of IQ points away from eating paste. But when it comes to music, sports, and comedy, well, that's all they know. You're listening to
Not These Two Fucking Guys.
Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
Some like it hot. The heat is on. Arnold Palmer. Robert Palmer. Remember that guy?
Yeah, he's actually Arnold Palmer's brother.
I don't know about that. I think you're lying on that one.
No, he definitely is.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I never
See,
knew
that's
that.
why you keep me around. I give you like tidbits of information, right? Now, don't you think of Robert Palmer as being cooler now that you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's
you're
actually a little
fucking
bit cooler.
stupid. They're not brothers. You big dummy. I think my new thing from now on, I'm just gonna lie to you. Everything you ask me is gonna be a fucking lie.
Oh, isn't that a nice little twist to our relationship?
I want to see how many things you actually believe and pass on to other people.
You see me tweeting out, "Oh my God, Arnold Palmer, your brother was awesome, and I love your iced tea."
Oh my God.
You are a fucking glorious piece of shit.
Yeah, did you fucking see, I was watching the news before.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see about that guy that fucking got rushed to the emergency room? They found 25 toy horses up his ass.
Are you kidding me?
The doctor described his condition as stable. The fucking corny jokes never stop.
That might be one of my favorite. That's bad. That was a bad one. There's a difference between daytime Rocky and nighttime Rocky.
Here we go.
And the audience needs to hear this, because daytime Rocky is full of spunk and spuge, and nighttime Rocky is full of morbid thoughts and panic,
anxiety, and all your worst fears at one time. Yeah.
Well,
you know, I mean, right now I'm just kicking the day in the dick.
they can't see out there, but you look good.
No, I always look good.
Oh, all right.
So Dave Ellefson got kicked out of Megadeth.
Well, first of all, say his name right, and then come
Dave Ellefson. Ellefson.
Ellefson.
Yo, did you know
crazy.
that Dave Ellefson is related to the Keebler Ellefson?
Piece of shit that you are.
Archie's Twitter's firing up right now. Hey, oh my God.
Palmer and Ellefson.
First base, now cookies?
So the Rolling Stone 2 days ago, Ellefson breaks his silence. So he's pissed. He's getting a lawyer. He said that this was a video between two consenting adults.
Two consenting adults and one really pissed off wife.
Known as probably one of the most iconic bass players in the industry, right?
Yeah.
He got the boot. Mr. Mustaine said.
Well, he even said in there, and I think he even said in the parting, message that the relationship was strained to begin with, and I think it's always been.
Okay. So this was just okay. Now I really can let you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's been out of the band before, I believe, and then I think him and Dave Mustaine were suing each other. It's like a whole fucking.
Yeah. So that was doomed.
Yeah. Like this story, everyone is divided. Like, is it cancel culture? Did they pull the trigger too soon? Some people were saying, oh, maybe the girl wasn't of age, but that hasn't been, that's alleged. It hasn't been proved. And the girl, I think, even said, no, I was always of age and I was never taken advantage of. And I was never. So.
Well, this sounds to me, because when you're in a band, as you know, you are a band of brothers, and you hit the tour and you hit the road together. You hit the stage together, and your band should back you to a certain extent, innocent until proven guilty. So your band should back you, and the leader of the band, Mr. Mustaine, should back him. But if there's straight up, I really didn't fucking, I didn't care for you to begin with, then I guess you could see it coming. And this was just the icing on top of the cake. And then it's like, all right, well, gotta go. We will be continuing the tour without you, son.
Now, let me ask you, has a band ever backed somebody over more fucked up shit than As I Lay Dying did for the fucking singer Tim?
Oh,
who
wow.
went to jail for hiring a hitman to kill his fucking wife.
That's right.
That talk about band of brothers, Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm not sure they even have consciences or something, whatever. Fuck.
Hey, me. It's me. Well, sorry to say, I'm not really like a big Megadeth fan. So it's like, I really don't have any type of say in this. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for you feel bad for the band. They're just going to get, I wonder who they hired. Hired gun? Or did they announce somebody stepping in? Or do you not know that?
No, I heard a rumor, but I heard that he had said a month ago he really couldn't play like heavy shit, but I heard, and I think would be pretty fucking cool, is Jason Newsted.
Oh, stop it. I would, bro, talk about
Could you imagine?
A weird fucking connection. Oh my God, please. I would listen to the band after that. If he
How awesome would that be, though?
If he got Jason Newsted to fucking play that gig, that's awesome. I wish he would.
I know he's on good terms with Metallica, but he would like to give them the nice fuck you of Jason Newsted. Yo, Arch, we got to say congratulations to our boy.
We have a lot of boys, Rocco. Which boy would this be?
That sounded weird. That sounded like a fucking admission of guilt. Jesus.
Who are we talking about?
Friend of the show.
Okay.
Mr. Jimmy Smith has a new gig.
Yes, he does.
And I couldn't be fucking happier, dude. So Jimmy Smith already has, from being a Bellator commentator, UFC commentator, has a show every weekday, Unlocking the Cage on Sirius XM. He was nice enough to come on to our show. We talked about it. Now, several months later, present day, just got hired as the play-by-play announcer for WWE Monday Night Raw.
WWE. How cool is that?
Dude, so fucking cool, bro. Like, I like it when, worlds collide, right? Love Jimmy Smith as an announcer. Love WWE. Well, there we go.
Love pizza, and I love steak. Oh, steak pizzole.
Yeah, that's fantastic, actually.
So Jimmy Smith went live yesterday on Instagram, and I caught a little bit of it, and he was saying that he's pretty much our age, and he was saying that up until like 1990.
Damn, I didn't know he was that young.
Ooh. Up until like 90, obsessed. He was obsessed with wrestling. So he knows from like almost the start to like 90. And then he said that there was a big gap that he didn't know just because high school, college, and WWE wasn't really geared towards that type of demo at that time. And now he's doing a little catch up, but he also knows where he has to pretty much learn himself to get himself a little bit better in the game. But he's so animated, and you could just get fucking just engulfed into his speeches, into his rants, that I think he's going to be a great fit for the WWE.
Dude, he's everything he's done, he's killed it, right? Whether it's an analyst, whether it's cage side commentator, whether it's commentating for UFC or Bellator, he always does an amazing job.
Yeah, like
whoever he's matched up with, he makes it seem seamless. And I think that in WWE, he's gonna 100% kill it. And I think that he has the right attitude for WWE.
Yeah,
absolutely. He tells it like it is, no nonsense guy, but really, really good at what he does. So congratulations to Jimmy Smith. See you Monday night.
Yo, Rocco, tell everybody why the audio sounds like poop and we're talking in the car ASAP. Tell everybody why.
Because we are nickel and dime shitheels. Oh, no, not that. Not that.
No, not that reason.
Because we just heard a song that just dropped, and we were like, fuck this. We're getting on and talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. What the fuck did you just hear? Because if you're going to take two gentlemen in the rock community, two lead singers, to fill the shoes of Cornell and Vetter, I think they did an absolute, hands-down, superb job. Hunger Strike, Temple of the Dog, fucking Chris Daughtry taking the Cornell part, Lijon Witherspoon, Seven Deaths taking the fucking Vetter part. I got goosebumps. Tell me how you feel.
I will tell you this right off the bat. LJ did Vetter better.
If he did Vetter better.
Nah. And let me tell you something. So Daughtry obviously took a little bit different tone. His voice is different than Chris Cornell's.
Yeah.
Did a great job though. He did it.
Held his own. And did it Daughtry. I like that.
Yep.
Yes.
Both of their voices are different than each other's, right? But they complement each other in a nice way. Both warm sounding tones, but yet the emotion is still there.
Correct.
Yeah, and they're both. I mean, obviously they're both fantastic singers. And it's very rare that you get like. I always wonder why people choose to do like a Chris Cornell song, especially because he, obviously one of the greatest voices ever.
Exactly.
But man, they do it justice and really put a nice little spin on it.
I can't wait to thank you for sharing it with me, and we are now sharing it with our audience if they did not hear it already. And I'm going to share it to friends because I love hearing new music. Rocco, you're a gentleman and a scholar.
Well, I'll tell you this, Jay. I appreciate those accolades. It was very, very nice of you. This is stuff that I know already, so I don't need you to co-sign on it. That being said, no, honestly, dude, when I heard it, Lijon is both of our mutual favorite singers. His voice is so soulful and it sounds like he's literally singing from his hardcore fucking nucleus. And I'm like, let me check this out. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this song. In fact, when I get off the phone with you, I'm gonna listen to it again.
Yeah, check out the article that talks about it on blabbermouth.net. Metal Injection.
Okay.
Real cool stuff.
I will, and our audience should too.
Go out there, download it, listen to it on a Mem Day weekend.
Remember what we used to do on Mem Day weekend?
Oh my God.
It was raining on Memorial Day weekend 20 years ago. I dropped an air conditioner out of a shore house window.
My mom said, be very careful with this. This is an antique air conditioner that she's had in her family for 4 generations. I'm like, Arch, I'm pretty sure electricity wasn't even fucking invented back then, but okay. Ready? You got it? I
dropped it out of the window.
And I love the fact that you think about it. So I think I was the inside guy, or you trusted me to for a second to hold the majority of the weight.
Yeah, Rocco Pipes McGee. He's gonna be holding the fucking air conditioner. I guess it's good that nobody was walking underneath, right?
Thank God it was only the first floor.
All you needed, if that hit somebody, all you would need is the logo Acme on the side of it.
Like a fucking anvil.
Yo, Rock.
What's up?
It's not every day you get to sit down and chat with a band member from your favorite band, right, Rock?
Not every day, pal.
Well, today's my fucking day, pal.
Finally, it's your day. Finally.
Our next guest is a songwriter, producer, and currently pulling double duty for the almighty Daryl DMC in DMC and the Hellraisers. But in my eyes, see what I did there? She now completes one of Brooklyn's finest musical exports, Life of Agony. Welcome to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast, Veronica Bellino.
What's up? I love the title.
Yeah.
What's going on? How are you?
How are you guys doing? I'm doing well. Hanging in there, you know.
Very
Second
good.
year in pandemic, but hanging in there.
year two.
This shit never ends.
2020 part 2, halfway in, you know.
I know. Hopefully, I mean, we are starting to see light over in Jersey. I think, are you West Coast, LA?
No, I'm actually in New York now.
Oh, okay. You were
Yeah.
at some point, no?
I was in LA for about 9 years, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I'm back in New York now.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Still smells the same, doesn't it?
Not the same. The air is still thick as anything.
Yeah.
But, you know, it all comes back. It all comes back to me.
Yeah. Well, before we start, I just wanted to say that you and I have a couple things in common, and I just want to, and I'm going to clear the air right here. You ready for this?
And it's not musical talent because he has none. Go ahead.
You piece of shit. My last show before the pandemic. Rocco and I are in a band. We always say this on a podcast. Rocco and I are in a band. I'm in multiple bands, so is he. Anyway, my last show was December 21st at the Starland Ballroom, opening up for you guys.
Oh, really? Wait, what was the name of your band?
Empire Fallen. We were we were the guinea pigs. We were the first act, the local heroes, and it was a phenomenal show. I got to play with my favorite band. It was a great time. And a funny part of that night was that I came out to the floor to watch you guys, and I looked at a friend that saw our set, and I was like, we didn't fucking sound this loud.
Oh my God.
When you guys played. But no, it was an awesome show.
That place is pretty loud. That stage was loud. That was the first time I ever played there. So I was experiencing that stage and that monitor sound for the first time, and it was fucking loud. Like Joey was blazing in my ears. Like, I mean, he blazes every night, but
yeah.
for some reason that particular sound was very loud. Yes, but I thought you were going to go in a different direction with what we had in common.
Which direction?
Well, because your name is Archie and my name's Veronica, and they're both comic book characters. But that's actually what I was named. Like my mom named me after that character, Veronica Lodge.
Are you serious?
I
Really?
swear to you, yes, that's where she got the name from. So I was like, oh, he's going to bring up the Archie comic.
And my name is Jughead.
How nerd was that?
I'm so upset with myself, Arch, and you too, that we did not put that connection together.
I know. Like Rocco is like the one-timer get ya type guy, and like I'm surprised you did not come up with that.
I fucked up.
Yeah. Well, Miss Veronica and Archie, but actually my real name is Jason, but they call me Archie since I'm like 12. I don't know. Long story.
Okay.
So second thing in common before we start, I'll make it quick. Once or twice a year I play in like a Rage cover band, and we played the MCA festival in Brooklyn, tribute to Adam Yao from BC's, who passed away.
Oh wow.
Well,
yeah.
I've played it like 3 or 4 times. One year, it's like, you know, art, skateboards, artists, and it's so dope. It's so hip hop. It's awesome. It's a great event. One year, DMC rolls through. Don't know the guy from Adam, right? Never met this guy.
Yeah.
Comes in, and somebody from my band talked to him, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, do you want to do a song together? He goes,
way.
Now, this guy could easily be like, you guys are like some shitheels from Jersey. I've never seen you before. I'm not, you know, like, I'm not going to just play with you. He's like, do you know Walk This Way? And I'm like, and he goes to the other guitar. He goes, do you know, names another song. And I'm like, he goes, do you know Tricky? He's like, I think Tricky's like, play My Sharona.
Yeah.
So he looks at me, he goes, play that My Sharona riff and don't stop. Yo, he gets us on stage and we play this song. He starts the fucking lyric off, and I was getting goosebumps, and I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. And I did one tune with Daryl, and it was the coolest, you know, one of the highlights of my musical career.
Oh man.
But you get to do that every other night. when you practice.
He's the coolest guy, man. He's so down to earth and like, he's like a hip hop pioneer, but you'd never think about it talking to him. He's just such a regular guy. He loves music. He loves rock and roll. He'll speak to anyone. He'll jam with anyone. He collaborates with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Just a real sweetheart of a guy. I've been working with him now for like 10 years. I mean, him and his whole camp is like family at this point.
That's awesome.
Such a great guy.
Yeah.
I met him in a supermarket in North Jersey, right around by the town where he lives. And like, again, this is probably maybe at this point, maybe like 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. And like, and I hate to ever like bother somebody that like, I know that's famous or whatever. And I'm like, I just want to say hello. And like, he like stopped and talked for like 10 minutes. So down to earth, so cool. And I'm like, how am I talking to like somebody who's like a hip hop legend, you know what I mean? And would give you the time of day and like talk to you and really care about what you have to say. So it's gotta be a thrill to play with him.
Yeah, it's great. And he's just that way on stage. Like we have such a chemistry, and we kind of follow him through the set. He'll tell a story in between songs that really engages the audience and like captivates them. It's just a blast on stage. We have a great time.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
So what's going on with that band right now? I see Hellraiser, right? Was that the last song that was released?
Yes, we just released Hellraiser, I think last week, and that is the last single until we release the EP in June, which is coming up. I think June, I want to say 21st is the day it's going to come out.
Okay.
So super excited. It's been like years in the making that we've been doing this music, and finally have like a compilation of songs to put out. We've been putting out singles here or there, but now it's like, we actually have like an EP that we're putting out. It's amazing. So it's very exciting.
How was the recording process, getting that all done with?
It's cool. I was living in LA at the time when we were writing it. The guitar player, his name is Rich, and the bass player, Dave, they both live in LA as well, which Rich is actually a New Jersey guy.
I am an acquaintance with Rich.
Yeah?
I've actually hung out with Rich two or three times. And I think it took to like the second or third time to find out he was like, he jams with DMC. Like, I'm like, what? Like, why was this not mentioned the first time I met him? But yes, very nice guy.
Yes. Love him. So we just ended up writing the material in LA, and then Daryl would kind of do his lyrics remotely or come to LA sometime. The first song that we actually did, Back from the Dead, which was on a compilation EP that D had just released as himself, as DMC. It wasn't DMC and the Hellraisers at the time. It was just him. I think Chuck D's on that. Bunch of other cats, super dope. So Back from the Dead was the first song that we actually wrote together as a band, like in the studio, like just from scratch, basically. It just came together. And then after that, we just started writing a little bit more, the three of us, and then we would get Daryl to put his lyrics on it. I would maybe write a hook and sing a hook, and he'd work off of that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it would come together, between, the LA crew and the Jersey crew. And we have Charlie, of course, who lives in Kansas City, who's like a badass DJ. And he lays down his stuff usually to top it off. And it's fucking awesome. Yeah. It's like a throwback, like rock. Like I wanted to do something that was kind of like, especially with Hellraiser, like a Beastie Boys type of track, but like heavier.
I hear that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned the Beastie Boys thing, because I was thinking about them today, and I was like, it would be dope to like take a sample from one of their songs and like flip it and make it like a real metal song. So that was a little something I was thinking about today that might happen.
Anything Beastie Boys-esque, I'm always into.
Yeah. So that's basically how the music came together. Just getting together at Rich's garage, and he has a studio in his garage, and jamming and coming up with riffs, coming up with hooks and lyrics. Sometimes I just come up with shit at my house and produce it. That's kind of how Hellraiser came about. And then just keep in touch and get it together. We recorded in the studio in LA. Just put the layers on, and then D would do his. I think he did his vocals. I think a couple of them he did in LA with us, and then some he did in New York. It's so crazy because it's been like literally 4 or 5 years, like writing these songs and making it. So it's like, I can't even remember what's what sometimes. It's been a long time. So now we're so psyched to finally release it.
Good. Yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
Is there, do you guys plan to tour for this record? If touring is a thing?
Yeah, it's still wishy-washy to me. I see a lot of festivals popping up in the U.S. that look really, really dope. As far as us, it's, I don't know. It's a little complicated because Daryl does so many things too, that it's hard to like lock him down to get, a run in somewhere for a tour. But we were looking at like a live streaming thing for when the EP comes out. So do like a live stream, show. It'll be like, you can stream it, but we'll also have an audience as well. Hopefully you can, do a show like that in Manhattan. So we're looking at that right now.
Isn't it so weird how like you have to pull an Audible nowadays, and it's like you want to know we're just gonna do a live, because like every artist who says it, like, and nothing against anyone who says it, but like they're like, yeah, we're gonna do a live, we're gonna do a live, because they're not, you need the crowd, you need the feel.
That's why I wanted to do both. I said, let's get a crowd anyway, even if it's half capacity, a third capacity, who cares? Just to get bodies in the room, to get the energy, and we'll live stream it anyway. Who cares? So that could be a thing. We're just getting things together right now. It's just more about like the EP release. But yeah, we're getting things together. So nothing solid about a tour yet.
Gotcha. So now, when you switch gears, and then you got to step into LOA.
Right. Yeah.
Now it's a whole different groove. It's a whole different feel, but yet the music's very tight. And if you know Mina live, always over the place, all over the place. Like, it's not the same as the record, but we love, we sing along to it, but she never sings to like, so I could imagine like following that type of groove, but two strong front man, women type thing that, both bands.
It's not like that complicated, really. I mean, I play the songs. I lock in with, Joey and Alan. I don't really have Mina in my monitors, but I can hear her from like the house kind of, or from like her monitor.
Okay. So
I don't really have her like blazing in my in-ears because I know she does tend to sometimes, get a little swimmy with her melodies and things of that. But, and it's cool. Whatever, she does her thing. It's great. But I just try to follow, the song, and it's, the song is the song. It's not,
I hear you.
But yeah, no, it's fine. She does her thing, and it's great. It's amazing. She's one of my favorite front women. Like as far as like a front person of a band, she's in like my top 5.
Yeah, Veronica's like, listen, I keep the time of the song, so if she wants to go off on her own, that's gonna be her deal to get back where she wants to be. But
nothing has thrown me off. I think, not that I can remember. So, nice. it's not that far.
Gotcha.
Now, guys, Arch, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm usually wrong a lot.
Okay.
Did we see Veronica's first show?
We saw Veronica's first show. In Brooklyn, St. Vitus, correct?
Yes.
All right. We got to say hello to you real quick. You guys were like going up and then going back downstairs, but what a great show. And like it looked like you had been playing with them for like 10 years, which is I feel an awesome, a compliment that you can give a musician, because you look so comfortable, so like you've been with them.
Oh, that's cool to hear. Wow, thank you so much. Yeah, that was a sweat box of a show.
Yes, I'm so sweaty from that show.
Drenched in sweat. And it's so funny. My family came to the show, and I told my mom, I said, listen, you guys, don't be in the front row. Like, don't go in the front row, okay? And I go on stage, and who do I see about 3 rows from the front? My mom, my dad, my brother. I'm like, what are you doing? You have no idea what's about to happen. And eventually they kind of moved to the back. But that was great. That was so much fun, that show. April 18th. You were at that one? We did 2, the 18th and the 19th.
Was I wrong? Is it Duff's? or was it St. Vitus?
No,
St. Vitus.
It's St. Vitus. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were at the second show,
the
right?
first one, Arch.
Damn, I don't remember shit then.
That was the 18th, April 18th. Yeah.
Are you sure it was the first one?
I'm almost positive.
Can you tell us a little bit about that show? Like, do you like your first show going in nervous? I mean, no, I'm not saying you're nervous, but like, you know,
I was a little, yeah.
How could you not be? It's not like, you know, a pop crowd, you know, like a pop music crowd.
No.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It
was. I was expecting mayhem. I mean, that's what I kind of wanted to happen. I was looking forward to it. It's been a while since I played, you know, in a heavy band. So I was very excited, you know, for that and feeling the crowd energy, and just sometimes I like those little sweat boxes that just drench you in sweat, and just the crowd is like real close to the stage, and you just really feel that. You just feel the energy. And that's what it was about that night. It was just good vibes. You know, was I a little nervous? Yes, I was, especially because, you know, coming into a new band like that with such a cult following, you know, had big shoes to fill. And it always sucks when like a band member leaves and, you know, there's a replacement and you're like, oh, I don't know, is this going to work? And so, you know, that always kind of flies around in my brain. Well, it did at the time. But the fans were just so welcoming and just so warm. And just even the social media messages and the comments online when it was kind of announced that I was, you know, the new drummer. Mm-hmm. It was just a really great feeling. Because I didn't know what to expect really.
Yeah.
But it was great. It was awesome. And the show was a blast. They had a little cake for me downstairs that
very
they had
nice.
Like a picture of me with like candles just welcoming the band. That was a blast. I can't believe that was already 3 years ago.
Yikes.
Wow.
Time's going by fast. But like you said, like those little sweatbox shows, like me and him have been to, you know, hundreds of shows, but like that one will like stand out because of the venue, the intimacy of it, the you know, knowing it was your first show. Like a place like that, that's so cool where like you come up from downstairs, you're connected with the fans, you have to walk through the fans that you're going to play for to get on that stage, right? Like that's got to, like that rush is almost like you're walking to like, you know, like a boxing ring or something like that.
yeah, right. Exactly.
You got security with the light, with the flashlight.
Right on.
And you're walking, let's go, get to the stage.
As much as I love playing festivals and stuff, sometimes those shows, man, there's just something about them. You know, you just can't beat them. It's just so rock and roll and just very punk rock, you know, just totally raw.
People in the front, you're connecting with, they're right there and they're singing their heart out, sweating with you.
Yes.
It's what, you know, you could, as a musician and somewhat, you know, sampling in some type of big shows once in a while we do, it can't beat that feeling. Can't beat that feeling.
Absolutely.
And a show like that, it's everyone in that place is singing every word to every song. So it's like the energy like that's like where like obviously the true fans come. And I think that had to be the best way to actually start out your, you know, your tenure in the band.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. You know, it's in Brooklyn. It's in, you know, where the band was born. So it's, probably couldn't have been more perfect, I think.
So you join the band, you you do a couple shows, you go into record, and then the world stops. Then you might have played a couple shows after that.
Well, let's see.
After the release,
2019, we started writing and recording the album. It was finished early that year. It came out October 2019.
Okay.
We did a tour that fall, and then. Then like January, February, that's when the pandemic hit. And then it was, everything stopped. So it did feel like that, you know, the record didn't get the life that it deserved, you know. It was very crushing, actually, because of course, it's my first record with them. And I love the songs on the record. It's such a great record, man.
Great album.
So I was so psyched to like really hit the road with it. But fucking, I mean, you know, what can you do? What could you say?
I know.
What's going on? Everybody's feeling it. Everyone's going through the same thing. Just waiting for it to end.
It seems like there's no right way either. Sorry, Arch, excuse me.
No, that's fine.
it seems like there's no right way, because we talked to a ton of musicians that are in bands, and they're like, well, we wrote a ton of stuff, so we're actually on a second album now that we're writing before we even release this and or tour for it, so we're gonna hold back. And then some people are like, well, we just put it out, the whole album. Then some people are like, well, we put out one here and one here, and there seems to be no correct way right now.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I see who Deftones put out a new album. I think I heard Slipknot was like recording a new album too right now.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I mean, you just it's like no one really knows what to do. You can put out a record, but you can't really tour. So how is that like lucrative and sensible for the band? You just kind of confused on what to do. But at the same time, you don't want to do nothing, because you just don't want to kind of fall off the radar and like melt into the dust with everything going on,
exactly.
The pandemic. So it's definitely hard. I think bands are still feeling things out and figuring out what to do. That's why I see a lot of the streaming things happening. Well, that started last year, I guess. But now shows are kind of kicking back in. People are taking the vaccine. People feel comfortable. Venues maybe are feeling more comfortable. I don't know. We can only see. We could only. I can't really speculate.
Yeah.
I'm kind of observing what's going on, and it's funny. I emailed the band today with our agent to say, I was like, hey, I see a lot of U.S. festivals kicking off. What's going on and with us, and still just very low amount of information available at this point. So
there was an Australian tour, I think, right? And then that got postponed again.
That's moved, yes, to next year again. Got it. Yeah.
Next year again.
Yeah. Again.
Real quick, I want to jump back into, because I'm very interested about this. So you get into the band and you're writing Sound of Scars with them.
Yeah.
So you're coming into like the extended part of this journey of River Runs Red. So you're it's not like you're just, hey man, let's write an album, like this is now like this type of concept that they got going, and you get into the band. Where does your say lie? Like, hey, I got riffs, I got shit here, like listen to what I got? Or is it, did maybe Alan came up with most of the stuff, or how did it go? How was the recording process?
Well, the continuation part of it kind of came later. I don't even know if we completed all the songs yet. It's hard to remember, but it wasn't like right off the bat they were like, yeah, we're going to do a continuation album of River Runs Red. Like that wasn't the case at all. So basically we just gathered a whole bunch of ideas and song seeds, as we call them, mostly written by Alan. And we just put them all in a folder, listen to sort of what speaks to us, and then jam it out as a band. And we focused a lot on the arrangement and structure together as a group. Like we were in the room together, like a lot, and figuring this shit out. Did I contribute some riffs and some melodies? Yes, I did. Absolutely.
Awesome.
So it was very much a group effort. A lot of the songs, the foundation, were written by Alan. There was one song that the foundation was written by me, and Mina stepped in, and we kind of wrote it lyrically together. So yeah, the one rule that we wanted to have was, let's not have any rules and let's listen to everybody's ideas.
Very nice.
That was a very important thing, I thought, in writing the record, because I think that really made it great and allowed ourselves to push ourselves and really listen to each other, and play and write for the song and not be like selfish about it.
Yeah.
We wanted the song to be the best that it could. So we didn't want like our egos getting in the way or anything like that. So it's like, whatever makes this song sound the best, that's what we should go with.
Were you like, listen, this song called Stone, I'm starting it off. Let's go.
Yeah, that was actually not my song, but that was one of my song seeds was Stone. Yeah.
Like it just starts off. But yeah, well,
how did you know that?
I'm a fan of the band.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah.
But how did you actually know that, though?
Oh, well, I'm figuring because it starts off with a drum fill.
It actually was written way later. It was written,
Really?
like, when I recorded it, yeah, that wasn't even there at the very beginning.
Oh no, I'm not like
so
I'm not.
funny.
Oh my god, I'm not like some creeper, some weirdo like looking. I can see what
No,
you're
I was
doing.
like, oh, they made me like Joey or Alan do an interview or something like.
No,
'cause that's
like
not really we don't really talk about that type of stuff. Like, oh, who wrote that? Like, we don't really talk about that. So it was interesting that you just like put out that song, and that was the one that.
well, it starts off with a wicked fill. So I'm like, here we go.
But that wasn't even there in the beginning. Like that was written, I think, when I recorded it in the studio at Sylvia's studio. I just kind of busted something out because we didn't really have an intro for that song. It just kind of kicked into the riff. Mm-hmm. And I think I was like, oh, maybe just like a cool fill or something, just leading right into it. So yeah, that was like the last thing that was written for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I was just thinking of the other question that you had about the River Runs Red continuation. So that Alan had proposed that idea some point, like in mid-writing, maybe when the songs were finished, and he was like, I'm seeing like a pattern here with these songs. At that point, Alan was like, yeah, I'm really feeling like a pattern with these songs here. And I'm thinking like, he was like, what if he survived? What if he actually survived? Mm-hmm. And like, I kind of like fanned out. I was like taken back. I was just so like, oh my God, this is fucking cool. I was like, oh wow, that's so like, I got the chills like when I first heard about it, and then he started like coming up with artwork, for the record and just different things. And it just came together. And then the interludes, Joey and Alan spent a lot of time with that. And it just kind of blew me away when that concept came to be.
Because it's such a great album, and maybe you feel like it hasn't gotten its due because of the pandemic and because of lack of touring. Is it something that you may, kickstart re-release, or is it on to the next, like, hey, next album, next tour cycle?
I probably can't answer that right now. I don't know. I don't know about a re-release. We haven't discussed anything like this really, but we have been flying around an idea or two for some new songs and possibly a new record. Not too serious into it, but we have been, exchanging some emails, and a couple of ideas were recorded and sent, to each other. So there may be, something in the works of a new, I'm sure there will be at some point. But as far as the Sound of Scars, I don't really know. I'm hoping like I feel like the music world is on pause right now, and we just have to resume play, and like we can kind of start where we left off, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping we could just, continue our touring and like resume everything that was supposed to happen in 2020. Maybe wishful thinking. I don't know, but not too much discussion on that yet.
Myself, I can nerd out all day and ask you recording questions, but I'm gonna move it along. So I just want to ask this because I heard, and this struck something with me as a longtime fan. I heard Joey Z on Eddie Trunk. He did like a little interview with Eddie Trunk, and one of the things that stood out, and I was just curious your take on it. One of the things he said was that and not in a bad way, he said, like, I almost challenge our peers. A lot of bands say, we want to take you out. Yeah, come on out with us. Come on out with us. But when push comes to shove, maybe our crowd is not that type of crowd, and maybe, and then Joey was saying something about excuses, well, then fucking take us out. We're professional. We do our job. We're awesome musicians. We play good rock music. Take us out. I don't know if you heard him on that interview, but could you allude to that a little bit? Or
I don't know if I heard that. I may not have listened to the whole interview. I don't know who he's referring to specifically. But yeah, I think there's been not really so much like with me, but Joey, Alan, and Mina, they know a lot of people just through the years, touring with different bands, and, a lot of bigwigs out there that I'm sure they run into that are like, yeah, we should do something, we'll take you guys out. So, I think, that happens. I don't know who he's talking about specifically, but Yeah, I mean, there's some truth to that. I could tell you that. I can't give too many details because I don't know.
Gotcha. Well, no, I'm not. I believe I'm not asking you for names or anything like that. But it's just like it's a little, in my eyes, it's a little disheartening to see. That.
I think there's good intentions there. I don't think it's like being mean spirited, like saying that and then not following through. It's just there's a lot that goes into it. You have the booking agents. Maybe you're like, no, you have to go this way, and maybe the manager's like, no, this would be better for you guys doing this direction with it. So you can't really hold people to that.
Gotcha.
I think my whole thing is. Like my motto is I listen to 100% of what people say, but I believe like 50% of it.
Sure, right on. I think I think some bands may have that intention because they're fans of your band. And then when they realize, oh wait, they have to open up for us every night. And we kind of don't want to get upstage, so that may be a deterrent for you guys getting brought out as openers for sure.
That could be the mentality too. Who knows?
I like it.
That's very nice.
I think they may know how passionate your fan base is, and listen, that could be intimidating for sure for a band.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. That is a good point. Yes,
I'm interested, and I always love to ask this question, but.
Yeah.
What do you listen to? Like Archie and I are in a hard rock metal band, but like we listen to pretty much everything. And I'm always interested to see what a musician listens to.
I listen to a lot of different styles as well. My number one artist who I love and I just admire so much, Imogen Heap. If you're familiar with her, I mean,
okay. No, I'm gonna check it out though.
She will blow your freaking mind. She like writes and engineers and produces all of her shit. Mm-hmm. She does like very, very eclectic sounds and production and like very cool, unique instruments that she adds in her production. Like just very, very cool shit. Like just put on headphones and listen to her albums and you will just float into outer space. I mean,
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah. Imogen Heap. I'll send it to you in an email.
Yeah, definitely.
She's like my top favorite. I saw her for the first time in LA at the Greek Theater a few years ago and it was unbelievable. It was so awesome. Okay. And she has these gloves that she puts on and they're like linked to her, like a session or something in her laptop. Really? And they she does movements with her hands and the movements trigger like a reverb or like a sound or like a bend or some type of thing like this. And she sings her songs and she's like doing these motions with her hands. And it's just so insane.
You can't beat her. You can't beat her in an air guitar contest. No, probably not.
Yeah, no, it's pretty incredible. I love her. I love Faith No More. Nice. I used to listen to just a lot of grunge bands and metal bands back in the day when I was first learning how to play the drums. A lot of people know I'm a huge Sepultura fan.
Nice.
I was kind of brought up on that.
That's cool. How were you brought up on that? May I ask? Where did that? Are you Long Island? You're from Long Island?
Yeah.
And how would Sepultura? Just I'm curious.
I have no idea. I can't remember how I found them. It could have been maybe WSOU played them. And I was just like, "Oh, is this band?" But I had like a Chaos AD tape, and I would listen to it on my Walkman, like in the car and just wherever. And I just remember over and over listening to that tape.
Really?
I couldn't get enough of it. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I was 11, 12, 13 at the time. So who knows how I found out about it? Maybe a friend, maybe the radio. But yeah, it was just. I was telling. Sean the Butcher, we were doing an interview with him and I was like, I heard that Territory beat for the first time and I was like, this is the coolest beat ever. It's been my favorite beat since. I actually played it. I was telling him the story too. I had an audition in LA for a pop artist. Okay. And one of the songs, towards the end of the song was a bit of a jam. It was very, 2 and 4 type of stuff, pop. But the end of the song, there was a bit of an instrumental break. And I was like, maybe I'll just kind of do some fun stuff. I busted into the Territory beat for this pop artist and finished the song. And the dude who was actually a drummer who was like monitoring the audition and organizing it, he was like, was that the Territory beat up in there? I'm like, hell yeah, it was, dude. He's like, that's awesome. And
That's
I didn't
great.
get the gig, but it was a great experience. And I actually met him a few times since then. And he remembers that. He's like, oh, yeah, you played the Territory beat on that audition, right? I'm like, yeah.
Fantastic.
So Miley went with another drummer. And
No, you know who it was? It was this girl named Bonnie McKee. That's who the audition was for. Who she actually writes for a lot of those artists. Like she writes, I think, with Katy Perry and a lot of those pop artists. And she was doing her own thing. So she was having auditions for a band. That's who the artist was.
now, in your agreements with these bands, DMC, LOA, are you still like a hired gun almost though? If you need, okay.
No, definitely not. Well, with D, it kind of started that way because it was just DMC wanting a rock band.
Mm-hmm.
So in the very beginning, yes, that was kind of the situation. And I was like kind of the musical director for the band at the beginning. And then, a couple of the guys dropped off and we needed subs. And that's how Rich and Dave ended up with us. And not too much longer after that, we wrote Back from the Dead together and we're like, you know what, this is kind of turning into like an actual band and not just like us backing DMC, So, sometime later, that's how we came up with, let's do like DMC and the Hellraisers, make it like an actual band.
Yeah.
And this is, so that's where we're at now.
Awesome.
So like randomness, right? I didn't know this about you until I read it.
Yeah.
I remember this young lady from American Idol. You were in a band with Ellefson. Did I say her name correctly?
Yeah, that's right. I was.
So I remember her, and I remember her on American Idol. I remember she was like really young at the time.
Yeah.
And she sang a cover of Alone by Heart. And I'm like, wow, like nice, like the graveliness of her voice. And like, talk about that band. What was the name of the band?
Oh, the name of that band was Halo Circus. I love Ellefson. She's my girl. I freaking love her. And I remember seeing her on American Idol at the time as well. Didn't know her, didn't, think anything. I think I was going to meet her or nothing, but I remember seeing her just kind of watching the show. I was like, this girl's badass, man.
Yeah.
And she always stuck with me. And then when I got an email about the audition for that band, I had no idea she was the singer. And I was like doing a little research on the name and I saw her in like some YouTube videos. I'm like, oh, is this that chick from American Idol? And then it obviously, yes, it was. I was with them for like 3 years.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Will you still do hired gun stuff? Like if someone calls you, like, if we need maybe or session work or anything like that?
Yeah, I would. It depends. It depends on the situation, I think, but yeah, I definitely would still.
All right, Rock. Let's put our pennies together and hire her.
What are you trying to ask? Is we need a drummer now?
Hey, listen. So like,
this isn't really a podcast. We kind of just want to.
No, this is our pitch for you to come play with us.
I mean, I have gotten asked since joining Life of Agony. I have had people reach out to me about that stuff, and to be honest, time was just the issue. I just didn't really have to do it, and just putting the work in and the effort with the schedule I had with LOA, which is, it just didn't really work for me and was a bit much. So I haven't done anything like that. But yeah, people reach out to me once in a while about it.
Was there one band or artist that you saw maybe live, maybe on television, were like, you know what, I want to do this for a living?
That I was probably at a very early age because I got into music around 11 years old and started playing guitar and was kind of set on like becoming like, I wanted to be like the next Courtney Love, I wanted to play guitar.
Right on.
The first whole album is amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. I don't know. It could have been Nirvana. I was a huge Kurt Cobain fan. I love Dave Grohl.
A man who could do no wrong.
Yeah. Right.
Christ.
Totally. I mean, he was such a monster in that band. I mean, I love everything he does. He's great. But yeah, that era of my life, just between 11, 13, 14 years old, I really started becoming myself and figuring out what I wanted to do and what I was into and joined bands. I had like a little band at 14 with some high school friends. It never really got anywhere or anything. But then at 16, I joined a band, and then we did like shows and, played around Long Island, traveled to different states, and really like kind of got the vibe of like what being in a band was, and practicing every week. We rented a studio out, in a basement. I can't really say it was like, I saw this one band and it really changed my life. It was just kind of, I guess, an evolution of just becoming who I am, with the stimulation I was getting and the bands I was listening to, and, watching MTV. And yeah, it's probably just a bunch of different bands. I mean, I would say Hole, I would say Nirvana, Pantera, Sepultura, those are my, early memories.
All those bands mixed up and wrapped up in a territory beat.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go. Veronica, thank you so much for chilling with us for a little while, man. We really appreciate it. We definitely, anything new at LOA or DMC in the near future, we'd love to have you back. Thank you so much. Tell everybody where they could find you, hit you up, follow you on social media, whatever.
Oh, yeah. And thank you guys. This is great. My pleasure. Anytime. You can find me on Instagram. You could probably search Veronica Bellino, but my handle is @Spirals88, and Spirals with a Z. Twitter, I don't really use it, but it's @Veronica Bellino, and Facebook, same thing. Just Facebook/Veronica Bellino. So
awesome. Thank you so much.
We really appreciate it. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We're obviously big fans, and we can't wait to hear what's next for you.
Hey,
you're very welcome.
Before you go, are there any little what did you call them before? Any little seeds of LOA, new LOA that there's possibly going to be? You never know, a little something in the future.
There was one song, there was one seed that that was sent to me a few months ago. But as I mentioned, man, there hasn't been really too much activity with that, with us as a group. So I think with the documentary coming out, a lot of focus
we didn't even
was
talk
on
about that.
Yeah. I mean, that was really Joey, Mean, and Alan. That was really their life and their story. Yeah. I'm just, I'm kind of a small part of it. So that's there's not much I can really say. Anyway,
you want to know what? Next album, I'm sure you're gonna have a lot to say. So the great Veronica Bellino, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Stay safe, stay well.
Thank you. You guys too. Appreciate it.
All right.
Take care.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
That was awesome. That was cool. Like I said before, my fine feather friend, if you get to talk to a band member from your favorite band, it's not a bad day.
It's a good day, right?
It's a good day. I say,
it's like Christmas morning.
I say it's a win.
I mean, and that was you were trying to solicit her to play drums, basically.
Yeah, I was trying to get her to play. Why don't you come play in our band? If I'm not mistaken, if they still do, I don't know, like years ago, LOA, I think practiced in like Jersey City somewhere. Well, she's in Jersey City. Take 440.
There you go.
Jump on 3.
Yeah, we'll meet you at TikTok.
The TikTok diner on Route 3. Yeah, man, she can come play with us. No, but yeah, she was awesome. Like
she's super cool, super talented,
such a sweetheart, so nice. Oh my, we didn't even like.
She's
there's so many things we talk about.
Again, we're gonna have her back because there's so much we need to cover. I think
a beast on the drums.
Oh yeah.
So Rock. With that being said, what do you have to say to the people?
If you just heard us chat with our girl Veronica, it doesn't matter if you celebrate Christmas, Kwanzaa, or Hanukkah, and you just watch a reunion show with Chandler, Joey, Ross, Rachel, Phoebe, and Monica, and you think the song shouldn't be called Piano Man because it has so much goddamn harmonica, then you just listen to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
We out. Oh, I see a little gray whiskers on the side.
Hey, go fuck yourself. Hey, just so you know, I still want to see your balls.